Peter Waxman, thanks so much for joining us. We're here at Lords today. The lads are back in training. They've had a couple of days off. They've got no game this week. Obviously, there are a few injury concerns within and around the squad. I just wanted to pick up with you. Prior to COVID, we were doing our monthly updates. Let's pick that up again. Here's the first of them. Let's start with Tim Murtagh. Where are we at with Tim?
Hi Fletch, as you know, Tim pulled up in the fourth day of the game against Derby, which was a shame. Looked like a hamstring strain, and we've had it scanned and investigated. There is a little hamstring strain, but thankfully it's a lot better than it could have been. He's coming in later today, and he's started to run around and work on his rehab. So we're actually expecting him to be back within 2 or 3 weeks. So that's considerably quicker than we thought. So shame it happened on the day, but certainly the outcome could have been a lot worse. So he should be back with us certainly within 3 weeks.
Actually, that's good to hear. So you look at our squad, obviously someone like Murtagh goes down with 900 plus first class wickets. Your immediate thought as a member is, wow, we're in trouble. There's a huge amount of squad depth here. Aside of who's coming in, we've got Shaheen joining us this week. You look at all the other seamers there, they're all fit and firing?
Yeah, they are actually. I mean, that's a good point that you make. You know, maybe he's one of our star bowlers, but I think probably it makes the coach's job a little bit easier for this next game, because we've got a lot of available bowlers who all, as Jono said in his last interview, deserve their place in the first team. Shaheen's arriving this weekend, so he'll be ready to go. Martin Anderson has missed that first game. He had a bit of side pain, but that's completely settled, and he's played in the second team this week, so he's thrown his hat back in the ring to play. And Blake Cullen is the only other minor concern. He had a bit of tightness in his hamstring this week at Radlett, but looks like nothing serious, so I would expect him to also be available and playing next week as well. So yeah, you're right, we've got a wealth of sort of riches to choose from.
Waxy, you mentioned Martin Anderson missing out on that Derbyshire game with a side strain. Great to hear he's back up and running and bowling again. Sam Robson was the other one that obviously missed out in the opening berth. Again, real positive, and Josh DeCare's coming in. But where's Robbo at in terms of his recovery?
Yeah, as people probably know, Robbo took a ball in the end of the thumb when he was batting in the last warm-up game at Merchant Taylor's, and he just had a little crack at the end of his thumb, so that ruled him out of the first game. It's settling down nicely. He's back training with us today. He'll start hitting balls gently today and face bowlers on Monday, and we're expecting him to be available for the next match in Glamorgan. So we'll just see how sore it is really, but he's a tough lad, and I think we'll probably see him available for the next match.
Actually, that's good to hear. Just a quick note on COVID. Obviously, you've had 2 years as head of medical services, an absolute nightmare with COVID, keeping all the players safe. I think we've been exceptionally good at managing our own protocols and disciplines and procedures to limit any impact on the club. How refreshing to come into this season with, if we're to believe the government, COVID behind us. Yeah,
it's great. It's getting used to it. Like, we were all in the dressing room on this last match. It felt a bit crowded in there after we've all been spaced out. It's a bit strange. There are downsides. I have to shake your hand now, whereas before I used to just be able to wave at you. But no, it's really great, and to have all the lads back together in close quarters, I think that's good for everybody really. And yeah, fingers crossed, we're in a good place really, and cricket's in a much better place now, and it's a much more enjoyable place to be really.
Absolutely. Last one, Waxy, on this week. Obviously we've got a week off, I mentioned, without a game, ahead of Glamorgan next week. The plan is obviously a bit of light training, building up to the game next week. Yeah,
we've got a couple of the lads playing in the second team game, and most of the lads that played in the Derbyshire game have had 2 or 3 days off, and we're back training here at Lords for a couple of days, and we've got some more training on Monday and Tuesday, and obviously fresh faces arriving. Shaheen, Hanscom are both arriving Pete's already here, and Shaheen's arriving on Sunday, so that's going to inject a bit of interest into the group. So yeah, we've got plenty of time to get them all back up to speed, ready to head to Glamorgan next week.
Amazing. Well, look, that's all good to hear. Waxy, thanks so much for your time. Delighted to hear that Tim's not going to be out for too long.
Yeah.
Great that everyone else is on the road to recovery. We'll catch up with you in a month or so's time, and you can bring us the latest.
Brilliant. Thanks a lot, Fletch. Cheers.